Footsteps echo through dark, endless halls. A flickering flashlight beam cuts through the blackness, revealing words scratched deep into the walls, words no one should ever read. They read still here. In the corner, a lone chair sways, creaking softly, as if someone invisible still sits there waiting. This isn't a movie. This isn't a campfire legend. This place is real, and those who dared to enter rarely left unchanged. Welcome to Whisper of Shadows. Tonight, we uncover the true story of Pennhurst Asylum, a place where pain didn't end with death. It only evolved. Hidden deep within the state of Pennsylvania, the Pennhurst State School and Hospital opened its doors in 1908. On the surface, it was meant to be a sanctuary, a home for people with disabilities. But beneath that veneer of compassion, it became something far, far darker. Decades of severe neglect and inhuman conditions twisted the institution into a living nightmare. By 1987, the government finally shut its doors, bringing an end to the documented suffering. But the question remained: did the suffering truly end? Or did something inside refuse to leave? What happens to the souls of those who suffer beyond all comprehension? Do they find peace and rest? Or do they linger, forever trapped between agony and silence? After its closure, the asylum was left to decay in isolation. Time took its toll. Windows shattered like broken teeth. Hallways filled with layers of dust and the faintest of whispers. It didn't take long for the stories to begin. Locals started reporting strange lights flickering in the dead of night, disembodied voices crying out from empty rooms, and sudden, cold gusts of air that seemed to breathe down their necks. Naturally, the paranormal community was drawn to this beacon of sorrow. Investigation teams ventured into the decaying buildings, armed with recorders and cameras, hoping to capture proof of what lingered. And they did. They captured faint electronic voice phenomena, desperate, weak whispers caught on digital recorders, all saying the same thing: help me. But one of the most terrifying accounts came from Sarah Collins, a seasoned paranormal investigator who entered the main ward in 2012 to film a documentary. She was no stranger to haunted locations, but Pennhurst was different. While walking down a long, deserted corridor, she clearly heard a child's laughter echo from just behind her. She spun around, her heart pounding. The hallway was empty, silent, and stretched into darkness. Later that night, while reviewing her footage, her blood ran cold. She froze, staring at the screen. There, in the corner of the frame, was a child's silhouette, standing perfectly still, its form dark against the decaying wall, staring directly into the camera lens. Sarah's investigation that night became a descent into terror. Her first chilling moment happened when she ventured into the old shock therapy basement. Her powerful flashlight, with fresh batteries, began to flicker erratically, each time the beam died and then returned. Something in the room had changed. First, a stretcher that wasn't there before appeared in the center of the room. The light died again. When it came back on, a dark shadow loomed over the stretcher. The light flickered one last time, and for a split second, she saw the distinct shape of a figure lying on it. Then came the second moment. The audio recorder hanging from her belt, which had been recording silently, suddenly began to emit loud static. The static crackled for a few seconds, then stopped. A clear, close whisper broke the silence, coming directly from the device. Help me. It was the same voice others had heard. Panicked, Sarah turned to run, but the heavy steel door she had just come through slammed shut and locked itself from the other side. She was trapped. The third and most terrifying moment came minutes later. As she desperately rattled the door handle, she caught a glimpse of movement in the reflection of a broken window pane. Her heart stopped. Standing right behind her, reflected in the glass, was the figure of a nurse in an old, tattered uniform. Sarah didn't dare to turn around. She just squeezed her eyes shut. When her crew finally found her hours later, the door was unlocked. Sarah was sitting on the cold concrete floor, trembling uncontrollably, rocking back and forth. She was repeating one phrase over and over again. They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. Sarah left Pennhurst that day, but a part of her never truly escaped. She reported waking up every single night at 3 a.m., the so-called witching hour, to the sound of footsteps pacing in her hallway at home. One night, her ordeal reached a new peak. The same digital recorder she had used at the asylum turned on by itself. From its speaker came that same familiar whisper, haunting her miles away from the asylum. Help me. Today, Pennhurst has reopened, but not as a hospital. It's now a destination for historical tours and paranormal ghost hunts. Visitors from all over the world walk its haunted halls, and the reports are eerily consistent. People speak of sudden, inexplicable temperature drops that leave them shivering, flashlights and camera batteries dying without warning, and dark shadows darting across hallways, even when no one is there. Some say Pennhurst isn't just haunted, it feels alive, breathing with the collective pain of its past. It makes you wonder, if the dead can truly speak from beyond the grave, what is it they're really trying to say? Are they crying out for help, pleading for release from their eternal prison, or are they calling us to join them in the shadows? Thank you for joining us in the darkness. If you found yourself captivated by the whispers of Pennhurst, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Whisper of Shadows. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next investigation. In the next episode, we travel to the mist-covered highlands of Scotland to a remote sanatorium where death was never the end. Because in the darkest corners of the world, the shadows never lie.